Okay, so you probably just gotten either your acceptance letter, you're just about to do the interview, or it's a case where you are looking into working at a call center. Whether whatever stage you're at, I'm gonna give you some tips so that you kind of know what to expect. So this is kind of a general thing, but still it's more nuanced. So some places may have stricter rules, some places may be more relaxed, some places may have higher expectations when it comes to stuff like adherence. Some may have different dress code requirements, but all in all, I'm gonna kind of give you a run on what to expect. Okay. So I'm gonna use this book here. It's called Introverted Selling: Mastering Call Center Sales While Being an Introvert. And we're gonna go to chapter 2, which is Trying to Fit In. So um, this one is more in the side of sales, but it still helps because it gives you kind of a insight into what the environment is like. So especially if you're like an introvert, this book kind of helps you to kind of understand what to expect, how to um, still be your authentic self and find your own way of doing your job, in a sense of they're gonna give you like scripts and stuff to follow, and like general best practices, but it's still gonna be you taking it and making it your own with your own style, your own cadence, your own tonality. That's where you're gonna find the magic happening, and that's gonna take a little bit for you to kind of find, but I recommend you have patience with yourself. But we're gonna kind of read a bit here. How can I zoom a bit? All right, give me a second. Let me go to preview. All right, preview. All right, all right. It's from it in the other way. So let me just. All right, so this is Jane's story, right? And let's just read Pressure to Perform. So on her first solo day, Jane felt the pressure to impress. She replayed her trainer's advice in her mind: smile when you talk, customers can hear it, use upbeat energy to keep the callers engaged, be assertive but friendly. Yeah. Um, so sitting at her desk, Jane adjusted her headset while and took a deep breath. The phone rang. She plastered on a wide smile and answered with the hopes and answered with what she hoped was a enthusiastic tone. Thank you for calling Clear Path Solutions. This is Jane speaking. How can I assist you today? The voice on the other end was calm and measured. Hi, I'm looking to update my service plan, but I've had some issues with your company in the past. Can you help? Jane tried to match the caller's tone with upbeat reassurances, but her exaggerated energy felt off, because as an introvert, it's something that uh, we'll try to mimic typically people that are extroverts, and it sometimes can work, but typically, more time, often than not, it will kind of fall flat. Customers' energy started to kind of shift, and they decided to like end the call. So the call ended with like a polite, lukewarm thanks. I'll think about it. So Jane sighed with, I made a note in the system. It wasn't a terrible call, but something felt wrong. Um, all right. So this is, yeah, part of the course. Regardless if you're doing um, if you're doing sales, if you're doing hospitality, if you're doing customer service, if you're doing collections, or like a mix of like a mix or hybrid of those. You have days like this where you kind of feel, especially in the first part, where you feel like this. But there are four things I want to kind of keep in mind when you do go for the job. There are four main things you're gonna have to pretty much worry about on a daily basis. One of those is compliance, which is the organization that kind of acts as the police for your department. So whichever that it happens to be, you're the ones that are gonna pretty much rate your calls based on whatever metrics their partner that is offering the contract has. So whether that be certain mandatory disclosures you have to read, certain questions you have to ask, certain like qualifying questions, also certain things that make the client aware of what's going on, that they fully understand the situation. The other one, you may have to deal with, typically is more on the sales side or people that are doing customer service. You'll have to deal with something that's called CSAT, or there's some of the places that have different names for it, but it's typically what's called a survey. So after your call's finished, you may have to give your person that is you're talking to, the customer, a survey. Whether they're gonna do it after they finish talking to you, or they will have to like they stay online and then answer it, or they'll get something about it in an email where they'll follow up. So they might think that's a simple survey, but that survey actually has bearing on you as that agent. So I can go a bit deeper into that in another video, but just know that that's another thing you have to kind of worry about too. Another thing you have to worry about is the person that is in charge of you, so that's like your supervisor. They're gonna want to use this tool. Some that from your high school days you might have, like similar to demerits would work. So they have this thing where they like to write you up for any minor infractions. So that could be you being late a certain amount of times, you not doing certain things on the call, you making some minor mistakes. They, no, Typically in the call center setting, these people are not your friends, so they're gonna be willing to do that. So yeah, you have to worry about those three, and there's one more, which is adherence. So this adherence is you like coming in on time when your shift starts and stuff. Also being willing, being not going over like your lunchtime and stuff, not going over your break time, clocking in and clocking out at the right times. Typically, from what I've seen, some call centers actually have it being tied into your commission. So if you're somewhere that's in like sales or some variation where you do like hybrid, where you have some sales aspect in the job, it may be a case where some of these are tied into your commission. So compliance could be tied into your commission. CSAT, which is the surveys, could be tied into your commission, and adherence can be tied into commission, along with whatever else the person who is in charge of deciding how the commission should be structured, decides also. So yeah, those are four things you should kind of worry about. But if you want to like learn more about like Jane's story, so it's a story. So Jane is a fictional character, but the story is real in the sense of it's pretty much a variation of my story. This is one of 3 books I actually wrote on the whole call center setting. So this one is for introverts specifically. You also have one for people that stutter, which is stutter selling, and you have one that is pretty much people that don't really have many issues but still want a kind of general guide on how to manage. So this one is Jane's story. The one for stuttering is Sam's story, and the other one, which is like from nervous to natural, which is pretty much from basic, from you not understanding the setting, and this is a new space for you, going from that to becoming comfortable and becoming a top producer based on your your skills you develop over time. So yeah, all right, so let me show you. So yeah, so those are the other 2 right here. So you have nervous to natural, and you have stutter selling also. So what I did too, for each of the books I included that part that gives you like some bonus stuff to kind of help. So if you're like an introvert and you want to kind of get some general tips after you've gone through the story, I've included like even a sales script to kind of help with that too also. But yeah, it's story form, so all of them are story form. They're not really like textbooks that have grandiose concepts of what you have to really worry about. It's more broken down, and they kind of get to experience it from the perspective of whoever the book's about. So in the introvert, it's more from Jane's perspective. But the great thing about how I kind of put this together, each of the books actually has overlap. So characters, so like Sam is in Alex's story, Alex is in Sam's story, Sam is in Jane's story, and I'm working on one also for people getting transferred also. So yeah, so that's something you can look into. But yeah, just worry about those four things and you'll be all right. So try to stay. So pretty much, if I was to like give you like a easy way to kind of understand it, for the compliance or quality assurance, as they're typically known, that means you're going to try to stick to the script, still using your own tonality and all that, but stick to the script, stick to their call flow and whatever they require of you. For the compliance, for the survey one, that means you're gonna try to leave every customer you talk to upbeat and feeling good about their interaction with you as much as possible. For the supervisor, that means you're going to probably try as best as possible to not give them a reason to write you up. So following the rules. So theirs and compliance kind of overlaps a bit, and also you're gonna try to be on time on everything, which would be the adherence one. Be on time for your breaks. Don't go over break. Don't if you have to take like sick days and stuff, make sure you have like a note, because those things, if you have a commission structure attached to your thing, to your commission or your pay, you want to make sure that you're protecting that as much as possible. But yeah, that should be that. Hopefully this helps. All right.